Hi everybody. Now most of us who use social media regularly feel like our lives are hijacked by this mysterious algorithm. So stick around to see whether you should try to outsmart this machine or what you can try to do instead. Let's get right into it. Let's be clear on one thing first of all. Now, when you open up your social media feed and you see certain content in front of you, it's not because there's a nameless hacker sitting in a dark room sending posts your way. It's because everything that is moving along the internet is really driven by machine learning and data science. So this is what we basically call the algorithm. So rather than trying to outsmart the algorithm, it would be a better use of your time to figure out how you can work alongside it. So if you're new here, my name is Liz and I love to talk about how you can use tools like video marketing, public speaking, and social media to get visibility to your new business. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that you never miss any of my future videos on these topics. So let's get right into it. Now, there are hundreds of videos all across the internet that try to teach you how to hack the algorithm and how to beat the system and how to game it and do all of those things. But in fact, the algorithm does work in a very simple way in the sense that it is driven purely by human engagement. So the way that people interact with what they see on social media is what perpetrates the algorithm to work in certain ways. So what does that mean? That means that if you want your content to end up in front of certain audiences, it is fully driven by how you engage with the system and how your audience engages with the system. So let's think deeper about this. Now imagine that you are scrolling on your Instagram feed and you see a post about llamas and you click like on it and you add a post. The social media algorithm is going to think to itself, this girl really likes llamas. Let me put them in front of her 24 hours a day. And you will notice that your feed starts to become full of llamas and farms that are breeding llamas and llama jackets and everything having to do with this topic. It is because your engagement with that platform has indicated to it that you like this material, therefore it's putting more of it in front of you. It's purely trying to be helpful as to what you've already indicated that you'd like. So this is really how the algorithm works. So how can you actually work with this as a business owner using social media? Well, there's a couple ways to go about it, so let's get right into it. Now, the first thing I would always recommend is to have separate social media accounts for personal use as well as for your business use. On your personal accounts, you can scroll the feed and like and comment and engage with accounts on the topics that personally interest you, like cute babies, cute puppies, crew socks, cookies, all of that stuff. As soon as you start engaging with it in that manner, you will continue to see that kind of content, which is perfectly fine. On the other hand, if you have a business account only, and then you start engaging with all of those fun topics, then your business material that you are posting will also end up in front of those accounts, and your feed will be full of that type of material, which means that you could completely bypass the target audience that you are intending to get in front of. So I really recommend that you use your business social media accounts purely for the sake of interacting with your target audience, not with your competitors so that your stuff ends up in front of them all the time, but with your target audience and posting material that is relevant to them specifically. That way you really create a nice streamlined channel for your audience to be able to engage with your content and actually see it as it moves through the feed. Now, as we've said, engagement is the prime driver behind making the algorithm work in your favor. So how can you engage your audience more? There's three main ways that you can do this. The first is to make sure that you are posting at the times when they are online, which you can always check in your analytics. Find the days and the hours when your target market or your audience is actually online and try to post then. That gives them a greater chance of actually being around on the platform when you are posting so that they can like it or comment on it or share it or engage with it in any way. If you post all your content when your audience is fast asleep at night, they're not going to see it and the algorithm is going to assume that no one likes this stuff. The second thing that you can do is try to keep people on the platform longer. So that is another way that the algorithm thinks that you are engaging your audience to stick around and use that app or use that platform. So there's a couple different ways that you can do that. You can post interactive stories, which allows people to really engage with your stories, like polls or questions, any of that. You can create carousel posts, which in fact allows people to spend a couple seconds scrolling through the slides, rather than the typical graphic post, which people see for a split second and then keep scrolling past. And you can use video marketing, which is something I say all the time, that nothing drives engagement like video marketing, because people will stop and watch your video and stay on the platform. All of these things really convinces that social media algorithm that you are creating content that makes people want to stay there and continue watching. And the third way that you can cause greater engagement within the platform is for you yourself as a business owner to engage with your audience's social media. So that means knowing who your target market is, looking up their accounts and their Facebook pages and their YouTube channels and their Instagram accounts, and then actually engaging with their content. So when they post things, you should have your post notifications on so that you're notified right away that people in your target audience have posted something. So you can go look at it right away. You can like it, or you can add a comment, or you can share it. You can do any of that stuff. So in the back end, that also continues to convince this algorithm that you and the people in your target audience have an existing relationship, and it will continue to show each of you the other person's content. Now, sometimes we hear about people saying that they're trying to make their content go viral. So let's think about what that really means, because in fact, there is nobody in the back end that is just flipping a switch that says, let's make this person's post go viral. When something goes viral, in fact, it is engagement driving that algorithm. So somebody posts something, a couple people right away might like it or share it or comment on it. So naturally, that algorithm will take that same content and push it out to more people because they think, hey, this piece of content is interesting to people in the World Wide Web. Let's show it to more people. So then a few more people start to see it. Again, it gains traction. Then it pushes it out to more people. And that's how things exponentially grow and start out becoming viral, even though it was just shown to a couple people in the first place. So when you intentionally try to go viral, sometimes it doesn't work. But of course, you are using all of these tips to put out content that you know is going to be relevant to the people who are looking at your material so that they can like it, others can like it, and the algorithm will continue to push it out. Now, one thing to remember about social media algorithms is that it is very comparative in nature. So that means if you're a baker that specializes in chocolate chip cookies and there's 9 other bakers on the internet that do the same thing, all of you technically are competing for the same target audience. So that means that the algorithm has to decide whose content they're putting in front of these audiences. So of course, more of the attention will go towards the content that seems to be engaging and be the most interesting to that audience. This is the reason it is important as a business owner to sort of keep an eye on what others in your niche are doing. You are not doing that so that you can copy their content. You're doing it to make sure that your own content at least meets that standard so that you can improve it to the best of your ability. However, what I would say is to use your personal account to do this, because if you do this from your own business social media accounts, this goes back to my first point. What's going to end up happening is that all of your material is constantly going to be in front of the eyes of your competitors and people in your niche, and then it's just going to cause this vicious circle. So instead, keep a dummy account or use your own personal account to just research and review what's happening in your niche, and then keep your own business account very clean so that you only mingle with your target audience there. So all of this really just goes to say that the algorithm, as mysterious as it is really just driven by people's behavior. So as a business owner, that would be your goal, to create content that's interesting and engaging for your people so that they keep coming back to it, and training the algorithm to understand that there is a mutual interest there. So asking whether you should outsmart the algorithm is almost like asking, if I wear a tank top, can I avoid being hot on a summer day? So the answer to that is, well, kind of, and maybe, but not totally and not all the time. So rather than trying to outsmart and game the system, it would be a far better use of your time to understand what it is that your target market is most interested in seeing, and then creating it and providing it to them. So if you like this video, make sure that you click like and share it with one of your friends who's recently started a business and trying to wrestle with the algorithm. Make sure that you subscribe so that you never miss any of my future videos. If you're interested in another free resource that I have for you so that you can learn how to use social media better for your business, make sure that you check out the link in the description below. So until next time, take care.